fellas, how you doing? I wanted to make this video for a hell of a long time. I just never got around to doing this video. And yeah, I've had to take my shirt off today because this weather is just this unbelievable. I'm sweating just from going for a walk and coming back, and I'm going to go to the gym after I make this video. So in this video I'm going to speak about why it's important to change your lifestyle if you want to be happy in life, if you want to overcome anxiety, social anxiety, life anxiety, depression. Even if you're someone that doesn't want to, strive for massive global success, but you're someone that wants to be happier in your life on a day-to-day basis, what I'm going to cover in this video is going to help those different people that want those things. And I'm also going to share with you the mistakes that people make and the mistakes that I've made that are very obvious, easy mistakes, but people still make them. And I'm going to also explain to you the right habits and behaviors to get your lifestyle as best as you can, so you can get yourself in the best mental state, and then you're in a position to achieve the success that you want in your life and be happy. So there's a lot of things it's going to cover today. It's going to answer all your questions one way or another that you ask me. So if you're new to my channel and you're someone that's very serious about learning to get over your fears and your anxieties and build confidence in your life, you probably want to subscribe, hit the notification bell so you know when videos come out. Follow me on Instagram. I do a lot of posts on explaining how to build confidence and so forth. But yeah, how's everyone coping with this weather? I'm not going to complain. It is nice, but it is hot. It's challenging. But nonetheless, I'm grateful that we've got it. I'm sweating here. Okay, so first and foremost, I'm going to start off with talking about sleeping pattern. I already know without even asking you that so many of you would have problems sleeping, and the reason why I know that is because of the insight into the amount of people that I taught over the years, and hearing, I always got to hear people's challenges, complaints, lifestyle problems, addictions and so forth, and then even more positively strengths. So people would often say, oh, I didn't get much sleep last night, or I haven't been sleeping, and that's why I'm not able to take action and and improve my dating life and speak to women, or go out and speak to people, or start my job. And I've also struggled with that as well, on and off in periods, because of like overthinking, worry and stress, anxiety, sometimes excitement, or sometimes a lack of discipline, just not turning the lights off and getting addicted to YouTube videos and not knowing when enough is enough, and eating too much junk food at night, sugary foods, which just keep you awake, and it's hard to get off to sleep. So with the sleeping routine, everything I'm saying today is obvious things. I want to make a point of saying as well, like in one way I'm saying to people, yes, like you have to be fanatical in the sense that you need to be very disciplined if you want to build success and get your lifestyle right and overcome your addictions. But at the same time, it doesn't mean that it doesn't mean you can't enjoy your life. It doesn't mean you have to suffer. This stuff's very enjoyable as far as I'm concerned. So with the sleeping routine, the thing that really helped me that I didn't realize is switching all the lights off. Because before I was keeping lamps and lights on unconsciously, probably a fear of sleeping in the dark or whatever, comfort zone, turning the laptop off at a certain time. And again, it doesn't mean you can't have a late night, because I have late nights, but as long as you're not doing it every single day, going to bed at 5 in the morning and having 4 hours sleep, wondering why you don't feel good, that will just mess up all your performance and make you feel terrible, and it'll affect your results in your personal development, etc. So getting the sleeping pattern is very important. The second one for me, which I think is the most important, and I remember many times in my life realizing that I was neglecting this badly, is not being fit, not being in shape. So many men today are not fit, they're not in shape. And I'm not just talking about visually, not having a six-pack, being ripped. That doesn't always mean you're in shape. Yeah, you might be physically, but they're not fit. They don't work out, and they don't train hard enough, and they don't do it consistently. They don't work out properly. I wouldn't even include working out as someone that goes gym once in a while. You have to be doing it 2-3 times a week, every week, even more. So they don't work out regularly, and that affects every part of your mental health. It gives you low self-esteem because you don't feel good about yourself. It's not so much, how you look, your muscles and your shape, which that can be important, I know. But more important than how you look is how you feel. Because if you've got a six-pack and you're ripped, but you feel like shit, because some people just genetically are skinny. When I was younger, I was skinny and lean. I had a six-pack without working out. But I didn't feel good because at certain points I didn't work out for a certain period. But all throughout my life, I've worked out a lot, as some of you know through seeing my videos and my dedication, and that's what makes me feel really good. So you have to have a fitness routine. I mean, everyone does today. It should be kind of compulsory, and I think all these things are fun. So that's another area of getting your lifestyle right. Another one, most important, is, which most people go wrong, I did, you can't have toxic people in your life. I'm not going to go into the whole psychology about human behavior and all that. I can't be bothered. It's just common sense. If you've got toxic people in your life and you don't like them and they're not treating you right, or you kind of do like them but it's negative relationships, then you have to be stupid to keep them people in your life. And I went through stages of doing that, and then I built more boundaries and cut them out. I never allow that anymore. So this is so important, because the problem is, right, and about taking personal responsibility, everyone can say, oh well, the reason I'm not successful is because my friends are negative, right? And that could very well be true. But there's always a counter argument. There's always the argument that, why'd you hang around them then? If they're stopping you from being successful, you are allowing them to do that. So it's partly, if not all, your fault. So it's about taking responsibility. This is not about judging yourself in such a condemning way, even though people will probably do that. But it is about being strict, and it goes hand in hand with not allowing yourself to be a coward or fall short of your own capabilities. So it's getting away. And I know sometimes people say, I can't help it, I have to interact with this person, I work with them, or this. Okay, in that case, fair enough, you're going to have to tough it out. I've had to do it many times in my life. There are some relationships in our life where, for whatever reason, at that certain point, we can't get this person out of our life. So you just have to kind of minimize your conversations then, or really work on staying calm and positive. But at some point, I'm sure you can end it. But if you can do it now, do it now. Because toxic people will make you feel awful. They will make you feel depressed. They will stress you out, make you feel angry, all negative emotions. And they will basically take you out of focus from your goals and your dreams and your happiness. That's what toxic people do. They put on, they empty out all of their rubbish on you. They take out their frustration on you. Even if they do it subtly or directly, or they complain and stuff, and you don't feel good around them, right? So of course, you really want to be very strict about who you have in your life. I'm very strict about who I hang out with. I've been like that for the last several years, and the reason being, because I never used to be like that. I used to allow people to go beyond my boundaries or not speak up enough, because of kind of how I was brought up in my culture, being quite a people pleaser. And I don't want people to get confused when I have this strong message and think, oh, everyone's against me, I'm going to tell it. No, you have to put things in perspective. It's very important to treat people well. I always treat everyone well how I want to be treated. You can still be a good person in life. I'm a good person, a lot of you are. You can still be kind, you can still be loving, you can still be empathetic, because I know most of you are those things, I definitely know I am, but you can still be firm. You can say enough is enough, you're taking the piss and not hanging out with you, or how, and that's why a lot of you are not successful. I already know. It's not like I have to know everything about you to know why you're not successful, because your personal boundaries are probably non-existent. You won't say no, too scared to say no to people, and your discipline is probably terrible. And that is the truth. And sometimes I have to do these videos, because I'm not just going to come on and say all nice things in every video. If it feels right and it's honest, I will say it. But part of being honest is not always about just saying nice things to make people happy. It's about being truthful. And people are not always going to like it, and a lot of you ain't. But then don't be on the video. It's tough, because this is how I had to speak to myself in order to get myself to be better in life. So, it's about building toughness, and a lack of discipline and low self-esteem. All these things come down to weakness. And it's not about, oh, you're weak, you can't lift 100 kilos, or you can't squat. It's not that type of weakness. I'm not aligning it to that. It's more about your character. It's your character. It's, that's the best way to describe it. But the great thing is, for where anyone is at in their life right now, or however weak they are in these different areas, you can make them all strengths through practice. That's the whole point of this video. So important, because any successful person will have to tell you, I just have to do an examination of my life. I'm going to be 37 soon. I just got to look at my life, and I was very successful in every area. I had a girlfriend, financially, business, my health, my happiness. All I've got to do is ask one simple question. Who was I around when I was in that place and I was happy and successful? Were there people that were good people or negative or toxic? The answer's easy. I was around good people. When I was unsuccessful and down and depressed and struggling in every area of my life, who was I around in my life? Was I around good people that I liked and got along with and it was a good relationship, or was I around toxic, negative people that I may have liked but I didn't really get along with them and they were not good for me? And maybe I wasn't good for them. The answer is yes. So it's a simple science, and you've only got to do an examination of your own life. And all the successful people say it, I'll give them credit. I don't agree. As you know, I'm not an agreeable person, and I'm glad, right? I won't agree on things just because everyone does. But one thing I will agree on all the successful people in self-help and this industry, whatever we call it, is, it's quite a small world in this world we're in, want to improve themselves. They all say one thing: you can't have negative people in your life if you want to be successful. And even if you want to be successful helping others, I couldn't help all of you back in the day because I had negative influences around me. I didn't have that strength and love. I always had the compassion. That was part of my personality, being quite empathetic. But I didn't have the energy and the enthusiasm back then. And quite frankly, I was too selfish. I was worrying about my own. I was struggling badly, so I wasn't really in a position to help others. But when I got negative people out of my life, I was totally changed. I helped so many people, as a lot of you know. So really think about that. And again, you don't have to shout at people, you don't have to swear at people, you don't have to get into altercations unless you have to, but in most cases you just have to have boundaries and just say, no, I'm not going to meet. No, I have to say no to that relationship. No, I'm not going to do drugs. No, I'm not going to do alcohol. No, I'm not going to do these negative behaviors. And then you meet good people. It's simple, right? And obviously, being a good person yourself, it wouldn't make sense just to start saying, well, I don't want to be around toxic people. Fair enough, but then you're a toxic person. Because I was like that years ago, and I'm not like that anymore. I was toxic to be around. I've got no qualms about being open and honest about that. I wouldn't want to hang out with the old me. I wouldn't. I'd probably want to give myself a slap because I was too negative and angry and upset and judgmental because I had low self-esteem back then. And when I made those changes, I wasn't like that no more. As I'm not showing off, but a lot of people want to be around me. I have people all around the world who want to meet with friends because I'm a positive person and people want to be around that typically, right? So with all these things said, what are we talking about today? It's really understanding your value. Most of you don't value yourself. If you did value yourself, you'd never treat yourself the way you're treating yourself. You wouldn't live the way you're living. So when you start to understand that, it's quite hurtful. Because that's what I realised, putting yourself down. So I'm here to lift you up, give you the truth, give you the steps. So very important. Now let's have a positive, right? We don't want to dwell on negative. When you start improving your lifestyle, for whatever reason, we can use all kinds of names, your choice. I'm quite open-minded. For whatever reason, you tend to attract and meet with positive, nice people, good, honest people. And it's a wonderful feeling. I've had many friends in this, when I got into this world and kind of came out my old life, my old area, some of the greatest people that I met that were just so lovely to be around and genuine and honest and not manipulative and all that kind of personality disorders, and became lifelong friends, or friends for many years, and if sometimes you go your separate ways, but it's not because of any bad reason. You just get married. Some friends got married or they moved out, but we had a great friendship. They left a great imprint on my life, and the same vice versa. So it's really about focusing on the positive. Most people focus on the negative. They're always complaining. That's their way of feasting off of their own misery. That's kind of like they feel like they're getting a release, but that just makes you more unhappy. So a lot of this is about behavior, discipline, and all of it habits. So that's very important. Next one is you have to spend, I believe, at least 8 hours a day or several days a week. People be shocked, hear me out, working on your craft. So for example, for me, I've always been obviously a teacher and a speaker and a coach and making videos and a practical person. So I've done it for years and years, which is why I got to such a good level. I'm still improving. Throughout the lockdown, hours and hours of making these videos, hours behind the scenes, and I love doing it. I don't complain about it. I don't need sympathy. I choose to do it. I love it. Most people would go to work for 8 hours doing a job that they don't enjoy, right? They do that, but they wouldn't do 8 hours of something that they want to develop at. Think about that. So if you've got a dream, if you want to be a musician, a guitarist, but you're not willing to practice for 8 hours, but you'd go to a job that you don't enjoy 8 hours, who's fooling who? Who's selling who's short? You're selling yourself short. Because you cannot be successful at anything in life if you're not willing to put in hours of practice. The same way that all these musicians, for example, the same way that Michael Jackson was such a talented dancer, do you think that was a fluke? Do you think he was just born? Yeah, okay, some people are born with natural rhythm, but that's because his father made him practice and pretty much didn't have a childhood for hours and hours. Why do you think Jimi Hendrix was so good on the guitar? Why do you think Gary Moore was so good on the guitar? Do you think Gary Moore, Jimi Hendrix did an hour a week? You're crazy. These people practice for hours. So that's how I got to this level. I went out years ago, the best investment I ever did, and I practiced talking to strangers for 8 hours a day. Now, people can say whatever they want about that. For me, that's normal. I wouldn't have expected anything less. And through that practice, it developed me great social skills, a global successful business and a brand. I transformed thousands of lives, and it gave me a very good financial income living, and it built me the skills to be a public speaker. I've got no business background. I didn't go to university. I failed my GCSEs at school, so no excuses. The practice, of doing it over and over again. I've made thousands of YouTube videos, done thousands of public talks, worked with thousands of people over the years. So you have to focus on what you want to achieve, whatever it is: speaker, an artist, a teacher, a fitness enthusiast, a dietitian, a writer, a film producer, a director. You have to be devoted to that, and that needs to be a lot of your time needs to be going in that, which is why you haven't got time to hang around with negative people that you're going to be losing your time around them. So it's also about time management, and the way you get better at time management is by an action plan, is by writing down a daily schedule. Okay, Monday at 1 I go to the gym, 3 o'clock I go for dinner, 4 I go on my date or meet my girlfriend, 5 I work on my craft. So this is very, very important. Like I've always said, whatever you do in life, I always feel that you should help others. There's always an opportunity to do that. You don't need to be an entrepreneur, a teacher, a coach, or a therapist to help people. There's always an opportunity. But that doesn't mean you help people that are toxic and treat you bad. No, there's boundaries. So you help people who want your help, who you feel good about helping, and you're in a position to help them. They're less fortunate or whatever, or it's a business thing, they're paying you, or you do it for free, whatever. It's very good to help people. It's great for the human spirit, for the soul. It makes you feel great, and it's just a decent thing to do. That's how I was brought up, my values. So that's a big part of lifestyle changes. Another one is diet. I'm really struggling with it. I'm really improving at it. So working on your diet, whatever it is, cutting out sugar or lowering sugar, alcohol, and of course, porn addiction. So when I start going through these things, I guarantee you'll start realizing that you're making all these mistakes. Probably got a porn addiction, you're probably around toxic people, your personal boundaries are probably very weak, you probably don't sleep very well. When you start adding these up, you're like, this is the reason I'm not successful. This examination of my life is revealing all of the areas in my life where I have bad habits. But the great thing is, if you've been devoted to building a bad habit, all you have to do is change it and put that devotion into a positive habit, and you can change your life. And this is why Johnny Berba became successful many years ago and changed people's lives, and I've grown so much. And through all my challenges and trials and tribulations, obviously the mental health challenges, which have been a blessing, they've taught me this. As I said, when I was in hospital in 2017, I realised that I'd let myself go, in terms of I stopped doing the things that got me in a good place. So these things are for life. And I'm going to honestly say, I can't speak for everyone, but I love doing these things. I love living a disciplined life. And again, that doesn't mean you can't have fun. That doesn't mean you can't go out and have a drink. I have a drink once in a while. You don't have to be so rigid. You can if you want, but you can still let your hair down once in a while and have a bit of cake and a bit of Chinese and have a drink once in a while if you're okay with that and you're not an alcoholic and have a problem with drink, which I wouldn't recommend. But obviously this is all your choice. I can't force you guys and whoever's watching this to do this, but you've asked me and I'm sharing with you the things that have changed my life and gave me a better mental health. Another one is practicing gratitude on a daily basis. I always do it. I always practice being grateful for so many things, even just to be able to buy food, even to have a place to stay. There's nothing crazy I do. I don't jump up and down. You can do it if you want. I just, just common sense. This is all common sense, isn't it? It's nothing fancy, but it gives you so much confidence. Next one is momentum. You have to practice these things for long, extended periods of time. Otherwise, you can't be disciplined for 7 days and then quit and then wonder why you didn't get results. That's just nonsense. You've got to be disciplined for years. It starts off as days, 30 days discipline, 90 days, 3 months, half a year. Once you kick into about 2 years of discipline, you'll be globally successful. So it's all character building, it's all being a better person, it's all about adding value to others, but it's also about having a no-nonsense attitude and letting any toxic or anyone abuse you or discredit you or devalue you. And so it's a great way of developing. So these are the main things. And other things as well, like certain negative patterns. If you notice that you get in a bad mood about things, you can start changing on that and realizing and controlling your mood and improving it. You know, if you don't come out of your comfort zone, you always go to the same restaurants, change it up. This is all about change. Most people want to change their life, but they don't want to change their life. So to change your life, you have to change your life. You have to change aspects of how you live on a day-to-day basis. Small little changes add up to extremely massive transformational results. And that's how I've taught over the years, and that's why I was so good at teaching, getting results, because I would gradually help the person to improve. So practice it, and that's all it is. You practice in every area and you'll get better and better. And then you won't need me to tell you this or anyone. You'll be your own person, all right? So I hope you enjoyed that video. I enjoyed making it. I will do more videos, and they're the main list. If I've forgotten any, I'll write them in the box below. You guys are welcome to tell me if you're doing any of these already, or if some of you have built success in your life in any area. And success to me is not just about the obvious things where people think, oh, making money or building a business or, you know, dating a woman. It's also about, you know, you just improving lifestyle changes, like, you know, maybe giving up coffee and drinking water or giving up alcohol or drugs. This is all success. It's all about making these changes, which take strength, courage, but they're very rewarding. Anyway, become fearless when you do, life becomes limitless.